A fan's camera captured an unplanned moment, and in an instant, the internet was struck by lightning. There was no official announcement, no press conference, just one appearance that felt so intimate. As Soo Kai walked side by side with Tan Songyun, the internet froze for a split second and then exploded mercilessly. Netizens didn't just see two superstars. They saw something deeper, an aura that was hard to describe, a closeness too natural to be mere colleagues. And within the first 20 seconds of the video circulating, thousands of speculations were born. It all started with a simple appearance at a private entertainment industry event. There was no grand red carpet, no overly bright lights. But precisely because of that, the moment felt raw and real. Soo Kai was dressed in dark casual clothes, while Tan Songyun looked elegant in a simple, soft-toned dress. They didn't hold hands. There was no overt touching. But the distance between them, too close to be a coincidence. When they walked together, their steps were in sync. Without needing to look at each other, they knew each other's rhythm. When Tan Songyun slowed her pace slightly to greet someone, Soo Kai stopped as well, not because the camera was aware of it, but because it was a natural reflex. The small gesture was immediately cropped, magnified, and explained thousands of times by netizens within minutes. What made the public remember their expressions even more? There was none of the typical nervousness of celebrities trying to hide something. Instead, what was visible was a calmness, a comfortable silence. In one short clip, Tan Songyun was seen smoothing the hem of Soo Kai's sleeve with a light movement. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't contrived. But the gesture felt domestic, like an old habit that had been repeated many times behind the scenes. Comments began to flood social media platforms. That's not the body language of a coworker. They look like a married couple. Why is the vibe different? These words came not from one or two people, but from thousands of different accounts sharing the same sentiment. The internet is often overblown. But this time, the collective energy felt different. Some longtime fans immediately recalled previous projects where they had paired up. Their on-screen chemistry had been praised before, but what was on display this time felt far beyond acting. On screen, expressions could be manipulated. But in a spontaneous moment like this, it's hard to fake such natural comfort. There's one moment that has now gone viral. As a staff member nearly reached the cable, Soo Kai reflexively pulled Tan Songyun back slightly, ensuring she wouldn't be pushed along. The movement was quick, almost imperceptible, but the camera caught it clearly. And netizens? They slowed it down to 0.25x, repeated it, analyzed it, over and over. Many impromptu body language experts emerged. They analyzed the position of their shoulders, the direction of their feet, even the way they stood. Slightly slanted shoulders were cited as a sign of emotional connection. The direction of their feet was considered an indicator of attraction. It might sound exaggerated, but when thousands of people see the same pattern, the speculation becomes hard to stop. Interestingly, there was no clarification, no denial, no posts trying to quell the rumors. Silence. And in the entertainment world, silence often speaks louder than 1,000 words. That silence only heightened public curiosity. Some netizens speculated that their relationship was long-standing and closely guarded. The Chinese entertainment industry is known for its tight image control. Personal relationships are often hidden for the sake of careers. So when a moment as authentic as this emerges, it's natural for the public to feel like they've found a missing piece of the puzzle. However, some choose to be more discerning. They remind themselves that closeness doesn't always mean romance. Two adults who have worked together for a long time can certainly build a sense of comfort without having to be in a relationship. But still, it's hard to deny the aura captured on camera that day. The biggest highlight, however, comes from the way they listen to each other. In another clip, Tan Songyun speaks quietly to Soo Kai. She doesn't look at the camera. Soo Kai lowers his head slightly to listen more clearly. It's not just politeness. It's attentiveness. It's small details like these that make the public feel like they're witnessing something intimate. Entertainment media began covering the news with sensational headlines. The words mysterious, revealed, and finally seen dominated timelines. Every portal tried to get an exclusive perspective, but none had official confirmation. All was based on a single short video, less than 2 minutes long. Die-hard fans on both sides were divided. Some celebrated the possibility with hope, while others vehemently rejected it, calling it a mere camera illusion. The debate raged, but one thing was undeniable. The moment successfully united the public's attention. This phenomenon demonstrated the power of body language in shaping perception. Without lengthy dialogue, without confessions of love, simply by standing distance and reflexive movements, a grand narrative could be created. The internet is hungry for stories. And when two public figures emerge with such a powerful dynamic, the story seems to write itself. Was this the beginning of the unraveling of a relationship that had been hidden for so long? Or was it simply a coincidental moment magnified by the collective imagination? The answer may only be known to the two of them. But to this day, the public is still replaying the video, searching for clues they may have missed. One thing was certain: that brief appearance had created a huge wave. Within 5 minutes, their names were back on the trending charts. Overnight, millions of viewers rewatched the same moment, trying to recapture the thrill netizens felt the first time. And perhaps that's where the appeal lies. Not in confirmation or denial, but in the mystery, in the possibility, in the aura that feels so real even though it's never been expressed. When two people stand side by side and the world feels like they're witnessing something more than mere coincidence. But the longer the footage circulates, the more the small details that had previously been overlooked seem significant. There's a moment when the two of them are walking through a crowd, and Songyun's steps are involuntarily halted by the bright flash of a camera. Kai doesn't turn around in panic, doesn't make any exaggerated gestures, but shifts his body half a step closer, just enough to create a safe space between Songyun and the crush of people around her. That simple movement feels like a reflex of someone accustomed to protecting. On the other hand, their facial expressions have been the subject of the most discussion. Not wide smiles or flashy laughter, but a consistent, thin smile. A smile not made for the camera, but born of comfort. Many netizens called it the home smile, an expression typically only seen when someone is around someone who makes them feel at ease. The term went viral, as if it were describing something deeper than a professional relationship. Speculation grew wilder when some fans claimed that this wasn't the first time they'd been seen with this dynamic. Old video clips were resurfaced, past interviews were reanalyzed, and even brief glances at previous events were viewed in a different light. The public seemed to be reassembling fragments of their memories, trying to piece together a pattern that may have been hidden in plain sight. But amidst all the theories, one fact remained undeniable. Neither of them seemed bothered. There was no attempt to create excessive distance after realizing the cameras were on. If there was something they were trying to hide, why hadn't there been a change in their demeanor? It was precisely this consistency that convinced many that whatever their relationship was, it wasn't something that just emerged yesterday afternoon. The internet might soon find a new topic. Trending topics would change. But this moment, the rhythmic steps, the light touches, the meaningful silence, was already etched in the collective memory of fans. And until the day the truth is revealed, one question will continue to echo in the comments. Was what we saw just now just a coincidence, or the first chapter of a story that has been hidden behind the camera's glare?